For generations, Filipinos have been taught a simple story, a narrative passed down through textbooks and family tales. It's a story of origins, of how our ancestors arrived on these shores, shaping the culture and identity we know today. Waves of migration, a constant flow of people across the seas. Negritos, Indonesians, Malays, these are the names etched in our history books, the supposed first inhabitants of our archipelago. We've learned to identify them as the building blocks of our diverse heritage. This story shaped who we are, giving us a sense of belonging and a shared past. But what if it's mostly a made-up tale? What if the reality of our origins is far more intricate and fascinating than we've ever imagined? Modern science shows a much more complex, a far richer and nuanced picture of our ancestry. An amazing history, waiting to be uncovered. The Filipino story isn't a straight line, a simple narrative of successive waves of migration. It's a lively tale of mixing and moving, a vibrant tapestry woven from countless threads of different cultures and peoples. The Philippines was never just a place people arrived at, a final destination for migrating groups. It was a meeting point where people from all over the world met and mixed, a bustling hub of trade and cultural exchange. Our genes and old artifacts are now showing us a past written in our DNA, a story etched in the very fabric of our being. Not just in schoolbooks, but in the silent language of our bodies and the echoes of ancient traditions. This proof challenges everything we thought we knew, forcing us to reconsider the foundations of our national identity. Our roots connect us to old sailors, brave seafarers who navigated the vast oceans, traders, merchants who exchanged goods and ideas across continents, and a mix of family lines, a complex web of ancestry that stretches far beyond the shores of our archipelago. We'll go back in time, following paths from Asia's wide lands, tracing the footsteps of our ancestors, to our islands, the heart of our identity and the cradle of our culture, and see how those old ways live on today, how the traditions of our ancestors continue to shape our lives in the modern world. Let's put aside old myths, the simplified narratives that have shaped our understanding of the past, and embrace a richer, more detailed truth, a more accurate and complete understanding of our origins. The Filipino story is a grand tale, an epic saga of resilience, adaptation, and cultural fusion, of long trips, trading, and exploring, a testament to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors. By looking into our genetic code, the very blueprint of our being, we find hidden parts of our past, unlocking secrets that have been buried for centuries. This isn't just history, it's not just a collection of dates and names in a textbook. It's a trip to understand who we are, a journey of self-discovery that will redefine our understanding of what it means to be Filipino. Our heritage is like a woven blanket, a rich and complex tapestry of different influences. Not just one thread, not a single, simple origin story. The real story is more surprising and beautiful than we ever thought. A revelation that will change the way we see ourselves and our place in the world. It's time to find our place in the big family tree of all people, to understand how we are connected to the rest of humanity. Let's begin. The Philippine Islands, a stunning archipelago of over 7,600 islands, scattered across the western Pacific Ocean. These islands, each with its own unique character and charm, have always been a vibrant meeting point, a bustling hub of activity, and certainly not a far-away, isolated place. Its strategic location, nestled between the vast expanse of Asia and the diverse islands of Oceania, made it a natural bridge, a pivotal spot where cultures from every corner of the world converged and met, creating a rich tapestry of traditions and influences. In ancient times, the old seas were not barriers but rather vital roads, and the predictable monsoon winds, those seasonal breaths of nature, brought sailors and traders from far and wide, carrying with them goods, ideas, and stories from distant lands. The islands, blessed with natural harbors and abundant resources, offered safe places to stop, replenish supplies, and find shelter, attracting travelers, adventurers, and settlers from distant lands, all seeking new opportunities and experiences. Over time, the Philippines naturally evolved into a bustling center for trading and commerce, never isolated or alone, but always interconnected with the wider world through intricate maritime trade networks. This rich history of interaction and exchange is clearly reflected in our languages, with loanwords from various cultures, in our diverse and flavorful food, and perhaps most profoundly, in the very fabric of our being, in our genes. Filipino DNA is not just a biological blueprint. It's a living, breathing record, a testament to the countless family groups, individuals, and communities who passed through these islands, settled here, and contributed to the rich genetic mix that defines us today. We are, quite literally, the children of this ancient meeting point, inheritors of a legacy shaped by centuries of interaction and exchange. Understanding this constant coming together, this continuous blending of cultures and peoples, helps us move past the simplistic notion of a single wave of migration or a singular origin story. Our story is far more nuanced and complex. It's a story about constant mixing, a continuous process of cultural exchange and adaptation, not one of replacement or displacement, not one group simply replacing another, but rather a harmonious integration of diverse influences. The constant coming and going of people, ideas, and traditions, the ebb and flow of cultures, shaped the incredible diversity we see across the Philippine archipelago, and explains how different we are from region to region. Filipino heritage is not a static entity, but rather a dynamic product of ongoing global interaction and exchange. Who we are, our identity as Filipinos, was forged by connecting with the world, by embracing diversity, not by isolating ourselves or existing in a vacuum. This inclusive and interconnected way of looking at our history, this understanding of our shared heritage, reveals the true richness and complexity of our past, and offers a more accurate and nuanced understanding of who we are today. The Philippines has always been, and continues to be, at the very heart of people moving around a vibrant crossroads of humanity. Our story begins over 65,000 years ago, a time when the world looked very different. It begins with the first modern humans venturing out of Africa, embarking on a journey that would shape the future of humanity. These were pioneers, driven by curiosity and the need to find new resources. Their path led them eastward into the lush landscapes of Southeast Asia. This region, teeming with life and opportunity, became a crucial stepping stone in their global migration. Following the ancient coastlines, these early explorers navigated a world of interconnected landmasses and shallow seas. The sea was not a barrier, but a highway. Their journey eventually brought them to what would become the Philippine archipelago, a cluster of islands offering new horizons and possibilities. The oldest human remains discovered in the Philippines were found in Tabaon Cave, a site that holds secrets of our distant past. These remains are at least 47,000 years old, offering a glimpse into the lives of the first inhabitants of these islands. These ancient bones tell a story of resilience and adaptation. These were the first people to call this land home. These early hunter-gatherers, skilled in the art of survival, learned to thrive in the island's diverse environments, mastering the resources of both the tropical forests and the surrounding seas. Today, their closest living relatives are the Ita, the Agta, and the ATI people. They carry the oldest and most direct family lines connecting us to the deep past. For a long time, conventional wisdom suggested that these first peoples were eventually replaced by waves of new arrivals, a complete turnover of population. But modern genetics reveals a more nuanced and complex story, one of mixing and integration, not complete replacement. New people arrived, but instead of displacing the old, they married into existing groups, shared their culture, and blended their genes, creating a rich tapestry of heritage. The genetic mark of those first explorers, those pioneers who braved the unknown, remains embedded in the DNA of modern Filipinos, a testament to their enduring legacy. Almost every Filipino carries within them a piece of this ancient heritage, a connection to the very first people who set foot on these shores. Our roots are far deeper than we ever imagined, reaching back to a time almost beyond comprehension, planted by those intrepid explorers who navigated a world transformed by the Ice Age. This is a story of strength, resilience, and the will to survive against all odds. It's a story that forms the very base of Filipino family history, ancient, enduring, and forever woven into the fabric of who we are. 4,000 years ago, a new chapter began the Austronesian spread. It started in Taiwan, where skilled farmers and sailors made the outrigger canoe. People who spoke Austronesian languages moved south, first reaching the Batanes and northern Luzon. This was a slow spread, not an attack. They brought farming pottery and their language, the parent of most Filipino languages today. The Austronesian impact was huge, shaping Filipino culture and who we are. As they spread, they mixed with the family of the first peoples, creating a blended group. This mixing is the main part of who Filipinos are today. From the Philippines, Austronesians started huge trips across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. The Philippines became a starting point for one of humanity's biggest moves. Our islands are at the heart of the Austronesian story. Filipino heritage is both local and global. the Austronesian journey made us a parent culture for millions. Long before Europeans, the Philippines was part of a busy Asian trade network. Ships from India and China brought goods, ideas, and cultural influences. Indian ways came through trade with Hindu-Buddhist kingdoms, bringing new ideas in how to rule, religion, and art. The Baybayin writing system and many Tagalog words come from Sanskrit. Chinese traders brought silk, fancy dishes, and settled in the islands, starting the Filipino-Chinese community. These influences weren't just taken in, they were changed and made uniquely Filipino. Our ancestors mixed Indian and Chinese parts into their own culture. This time shows Filipino identity as flexible, able to change, and worldly. The echoes of these old empires are still alive in our culture today. Our heritage is a creative mix of global influences. The Filipino story is one of being open and changing. Trade brought more than goods. It brought people from all over the world. Ports in the old Philippines were busy with sailors and traders from China, India, Arabia, and beyond. Muslim traders brought Islam to the southern islands, adding a new layer to Filipino identity. Each foreign marriage wove new DNA into the local fabric. Genetic studies confirm family lines from the Middle East and South Asia in modern Filipinos. The Philippines was a global connector, not a faraway edge. Our bloodlines carry stories from every corner of the ancient world. This time made Filipino identity richer and more complex. Our heritage comes from global business and connection. The Filipino people are like a small picture of the connected ancient world. Modern genetics finds connections history books missed. Filipino DNA shows a strong Austronesian base but also surprising links, like to Papua New Guinea. This suggests old interactions across Southeast Asia, even before the Austronesian spread. European family lines trace not just to Spain, but to other parts of Europe, showing how many different people arrived during the colonial time. These genetic threads are like whispers from the past. Stories of people whose trips are lost to history, but live on in our genes. History is not just about big groups, but countless personal stories of connection and mixing. Our genetic makeup is a mix of unexpected family ties. Every Filipino carries echoes of trips from across the globe. New discoveries in genetics and old artifacts have rewritten our history. The old wave idea is gone. Now we see a braided stream of family lines. Filipino history is a continuous, many-layered process of mixing and interacting. There is no pure Filipino. Purity is a made-up idea. How different we are is our strength and what makes us special. Genetics shows all groups added to the modern Filipino, Eta, Austronesians, Chinese, Spanish, and more. This view helps us challenge wrong ideas and celebrate how different we are. Differences among Filipinos are just ways of showing the same complex historical process. Our genes tell a story of connection, not being alone. We are part of a bigger global story, linked to old hunter-gatherers, master sailors, traders, and travelers. Our DNA is like a woven blanket from every corner of the earth. Accepting this truth frees us from limiting stories. Our story is still being found, with each new discovery adding another chapter. We've traveled deep into the past, taking apart the myth of migration waves. The Philippines has always been a meeting point, not a faraway place. Who we are is a living woven blanket made from countless threads. Ancient pioneers, Austronesian farmers, Chinese, Indian, Arab, and European influences. This mixed heritage is a source of strength and pride. To be Filipino is to be a citizen of the world. Our veins carry the stories of 1,000 journeys. Science shows we are all mixed. Our history is shared. This understanding should bring us together and help us value every unique story. You are the legacy of explorers, traders, and dreamers, a living library of human history. Exploring our roots is a journey that never ends. In this beautiful, braided woven blanket we find the true soul of the Filipino people.